Eleisha, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Simon?
I'm very well, thank you. And thank you
Good.
so much for joining us on the InSpirrall podcast.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Um, Eleisha, tell me one thing what's the most important thing you think people will take away after today's podcast?
I think after today, I feel like there are just other people in the world that go through similar things, act in a certain way, think in certain ways. And then that's okay. It's a normal reaction. And, there's ways to get through to the other side. Obviously, there can be struggles, but in the end, it's all, as I say, grass is greener on the other side, as some people say. But yeah, I like to think that after the session, that people will think, "Oh, I'm not the only one," and they have a bit of sort of relief and comfort knowing that they're not alone.
Yeah, and as we know, the grass often isn't greener. Um,
Yes.
to begin with, tell us about where you are in your life right now. What brought us to this point?
Currently, at the moment, I'm okay. Obviously, we've spoken in the past about such things. At the moment, I'm doing okay. I'm in a better place than what I was, I say, a couple of years ago. At the moment, I'm at a steady road of where I am at the moment. So, but yes.
Good. And tell us a bit about your journey then, in particular, maybe personally, emotionally, physically over the
Mhm.
last couple of years.
Mhm. It's taken about a year to get to where I am now. Um, so a couple of years ago, I was very depressed. Um, I was on anti-anxiety and depressant medication, and asking for help from various people that sort of, even then, I still wouldn't really think they were listening to me. But yeah, it's taken about a year, I think, to get to where I am now, just from the past of sort of realizing, I don't know, that but people can be the way they are. I can think in certain ways, why I think in certain ways, and why I felt the way I felt. Um, and sort of going like, no, I don't want to feel this way. I want to get better. Like, I don't want to have to keep thinking that it's always my fault. I'm the one that's doing something wrong. Um, like, I'm not good enough for anything or anyone, including family, friends, work. Um, And yeah, I kind of just felt like, no, like I don't want to keep feeling like this anymore. Like there must be something to help me be more positive in my life. And yeah, I just sort of took a journey, I suppose, to getting better. So yeah, that's sort of where it's all started, from relationships, problems with family. Um, but they're sort of like the main two that I had from 2 years plus ago, that it's all sort of stemmed from.
You should talk to me about, I mean, even hearing you say those words, my fault, not good enough. There are times when through depression, I mean, you got to a point where you wanted to make a change
Mm,
and you wanted to turn a corner and you
mm,
wanted better for yourself.
mhm,
I speak from an authentic place as well.
mhm.
There are times sometimes when can't be bothered, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh,
You don't
100%.
want that for you. And
Mhm.
we go into a sort of, without realizing it, a kind of self sabotagey
Yeah.
contempt
Mm.
for ourselves in a way,
Yeah. Yeah,
just
yeah,
because of
definitely.
what's up here.
Yeah, it's sort of, I definitely felt like, the things that I was going through, I was like, "Oh, it's for a reason. I've done something wrong. Like, I just accept that this is my life." Like, I should just accept that, I'm not good enough, and this is how my life is supposed to be. And like, eh, maybe, karma from another life has hit me and this is my life now, type thing. Um, and just sort of any bad luck or anything that happened that came my way. And I was just like, oh, okay, here's another one that I've just got to, take on the shoulder and just get on with, without sort of realizing that some things that I think experienced shouldn't have been dealt with in that way. I think that's probably why I did go down the road of sort of like heavy depression and anxiety, because I was dealing with it with oh, this is just life. Like, this is just what it is. But now that I look back at it, it shouldn't have been. Like, I should have gone, no, this isn't right. This is wrong. And I should say something, but I never did. So
You have now.
I have now.
You have now. And there's nothing quite like someone who's built on the resilience and strength of lower times, is there? When you come out, everything becomes clear. You've got
Yes.
time to make up for, and
Yes.
you race. And
Yes.
God forbid anyone who stands in your way when,
Or
when the power
yeah.
comes back.
Yeah, definitely.
um, this unfairness and
Mhm.
almost a guilt that it's happening to you.
Mhm.
I accept that from what it sounds like, if we take out the fact it's not you
Mhm.
and that other things were happening to you that
Mhm.
were deemed unfair,
Mhm.
sometimes we look back or I do, and I have a guilt that I didn't see them clearer, I didn't act
Mm.
quicker, I
Mm.
didn't be stronger at the time,
Yeah.
and again, that inner critic, by telling me that, isn't actually that positive. It's just using it as another
Yeah.
excuse to keep me
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
What was the day you beat your bully? What was the day that you thought, uh-uh?
I can't really say I put like a pinpoint on it, but it was just more of a like I was getting FOMO a lot, which was like fear of missing out. I like put on a bit of weight, and I realized that every weekend was turning into, oh, I did nothing. Like when you go into work or you see someone and it goes, oh, so what did you do this weekend? I go, oh, I did nothing. And it was getting to like every weekend was, oh, I did nothing. And, obviously with social media, you look on things, go, oh, I wish I could have done that. Or I wish I did this. Or, oh, that looks really cool. I'd say last year, March, I
Mm-hmm.
think was around the time when I was like, no, like, I don't want to do this anymore. I feel like shit. And I don't want to feel like shit. I hate myself, and I've gotten so low to a point where I've now sort of realized where I am, and I've gone, no, I don't want to do this. I'm fed up of feeling this way. No one's listening to me. I'm just going to do it for myself, type thing, rather than not expecting help, but just trying to find the help and then not getting it with people that say that they do. This is, they if you come to us, we'll help you. Da, 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 da. And then they ended up not doing that, and it was just like pass the parcel with me with trying to get help. And I just thought, like, fuck it, I can't be bothered to be passed around like a present anymore, like a pass the parcel type thing. And I was like, no, I'm going to do it myself because I'm very much, if I can't find someone else to do it, I will do it myself. And that's with everything, because obviously I want to use others' skills and, what they're passionate about and all that type of stuff. But if I can't find someone, I don't know, within a certain time frame, I will just learn it and do it myself because I'm a bit impatient. Which can
Like
be a good thing and a bad thing, obviously.
yeah, but what I'm hearing is that um, you were perhaps looking for an answer externally
Mm,
from social media validation to see what you
mm,
were missing out on, a bit of FOMO
mm,
from whatever if the GP gave you something to do that was
mm,
external as well. And sometimes
mhm.
it's right under our nose, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
working on ourselves. It's you being
Mhm,
you. It's becoming a friend to yourself. And
mhm.
but there are times where you don't want to be that friend.
No.
What is it? What is that moment where even you can't stick up for you?
I was definitely there lots of times when I'd sit there and just go, "Why am I here?" type thing, and why am I like this, and why do I feel this way? And I just sort of, it was just an acceptance, like, oh, it's just because of this, that, and the other. A lot of the times it was because, I don't know, I'm just a shit person. Maybe I don't deserve to have good things in my life. And it was like an ongoing sort of mindset, I suppose, of a routine of, oh, I've experienced this before, I know I'll experience it again, but then weirdly kind of leading it that way anyway.
Same
Like
circles.
unconsciously like
Yes.
unconsciously on purpose, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It was
It
sort
does.
of like a routine. I was just like, oh, this is what's happened to me in the past. Oh, I can kind of see it happening now. So I'm going to kind of push it towards that same scenario.
Well, I mean, if you are what you think you are, as everyone keeps,
Mm.
saying,
Yeah.
if it's a tried and tested route that you are
Mm.
not good or not well, or relationships have
Mm.
failed, or work has
Mhm.
failed, or something else,
Mm.
that's what I think I am. And that's
Yeah.
inevitably the path which I will tread, because at
Yes.
each, there's almost a comfort at each junction where
Mm.
you think, oh, that could be a bit
Yeah.
risky. I've done that way. I've gone that way
Mm.
before and it failed. I'll
Yeah.
just,
True.
but I think there comes a point as well from what you're saying where you don't actually take left or right. You just sort of stay
Mm.
where you are. And
Yeah.
in essence, we become sort of a sitting duck
Yes.
to,
Yeah.
to,
Just let it happen. Just waddle
yeah.
on.
Um, Reaching out is an
Mhm.
interesting one. Because when you were there and looking for something externally to help you,
Mhm.
and everyone in wellbeing will say, reach out.
Yeah.
And whilst there is value in reaching out,
Mhm.
identify with me, please, as a person, because at the moment
Mhm.
I can't even get out of bed. I can't even shower.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't eaten for a while.
Mhm.
When people talk to me, I have empathy fatigue.
Mm.
I'm
Mhm.
not bothered. I'm not interested. I'm
Yeah.
disinterested in a lot of things.
Mm. Mhm.
I'm not going to reach out because one, I don't want
No.
to burden people. And two,
Exactly. Yeah.
I'd be that boring friend even more, which means I've given myself another reason to
Mm.
with negative narrative. Without reaching out, do you think the emphasis sometimes comes to others reaching in and just sitting with you to see what it is like in your world around you, rather than trying to drag you out, coming in and
Mm.
feeling what it's like? What happened with you?
Um, I sort of went back to how I used to be, um, from when I was a kid. I say kid, teenager.
Mm.
Of just I did have this I don't care attitude, as most sort of teenagers occasionally have. Like, oh, I don't care anymore. Like, I just, but more in like a, I don't care what people think of me. I don't care if they're going to judge me for something that I like, or if it was just more of a like, no, I'm going to have a backbone. I'm going to stand up for myself. If they don't like it, there's the door. Like, I don't care anymore. Like, I've gotten to the point now where I'm happy as just being me. Like, why should I have to hide myself for you or whoever or such and such? And like, why does it matter? Like, this is who I am. If you don't like it, piss off.
Mm.
So
Do you know,
it was just more of a like, yeah, I just kind of just suddenly woke up and went, do you know what? Fuck it. I don't care anymore. Yeah. It just, I don't know, it's just sort of a clicked overnight type thing. I just woke up and I was like, no, I am going to do this. And yeah.
you know what you've done by doing that? You've taken the power away from everyone.
Mm.
Because rather like a bully will tell you, and this is you, this is all the things that I've taught you over the years and said to you over the years and belief systems that I've put inside you. Well, but don't tell anyone. The bully is telling
Mm.
you not to tell anyone. And the minute you
Yeah.
go, actually, I'm exposing you.
Mm.
I've proved you wrong on numerous occasions, and I'm
Mm.
stripping your power. Enough's enough. And they
Yeah.
wilt. Those voices
Mm.
wilt, don't they? And actually get a
Yes.
bit scared then, because
Mm.
the same people who are trying to keep you down, I'm presuming it's people, past relationships, whatever it is,
Mhm.
are the ones that also fear your rising.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, it's definitely more like a like, oh, how are they getting on without me? Like, oh, they're doing okay now. Mm. And it's like, yeah, I never needed you in the first place. Type scenario. Like, I don't. It's always like another thing at the moment. Like people with like I see it all the time. Like obviously on social media and stuff about like there's now a lot of people, majority women that are now like they're happy just to be single. and they're like, "No, I don't want it. I'm content. Like, my life is peaceful." Uh, like, just the hassle of, obviously, from even like with my ex, going through all of that stuff. Like, I don't want that. If that's what relationship is, nah, I'm happy to be single for the rest of my life. If that's what a relationship is, no, thank you. And it's just like I've seen it like a big thing at the moment. The last couple of months, I've seen it where a lot of people are just like, no, I'm happy, I'm content being on my own. And I think it's the realization that you don't need a partner, you want a partner because you want
It
someone
makes it
to,
better
yeah, to
if it
experience things
adds.
with, and, all that sort of stuff. But I'm like, but you can experience some things with friends or with family members, or like, you don't need a loved one to do stuff with. Like, it can be a friend.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I think also helped me get out of my sort of pit, was actually finding people that I did have interest in, and keeping them at close bay and going, actually, I do like this. Like, let's talk about it. Let's do our interests. And, oh, do you like sushi? Oh, I like sushi. Should we go try that sushi place up the road on a random Friday evening? Like, yep. And then it's just like stemmed from there, of keeping the friendships and, actually continuing to talk to people. Whereas sometimes I'd meet someone and go, oh, do you like this? Oh, I do too. And then nothing. Whereas now I'm like, no, I want to have friends to talk to this about, rather than me having nobody to talk about something and then just sort of feeling alone and being like, oh, nobody else likes this thing. But I know for a fact millions of people do. I just don't have the guts to talk to anyone about it, because I've got this fear of like rejection of, oh, yeah, like, oh, I don't like her for whatever reason. So I won't talk to her, even though we've got the same interest.
Tell me about the moments that made you hide.
So I think times that where I wanted to hide was just, well, I just didn't feel great in myself, like even in my body, the way I looked, or anything like that. So a lot of the time it was because I just didn't want to go outside. And even now, kind of, still, I can't go outside without makeup on. Like, even if it's just to pop to Tesco's for 30 seconds, I have to put on makeup on. Which is one thing, I suppose, out of everything, that I'm still trying to just be like, no, I can go to Tesco's without makeup on. No one cares. But in my head, I'm still like, no, but someone's going to say something. A lot of it was because I don't know, I didn't want to talk about it, or I think it's sort of like, because you hear it so much that you don't want to be like another, oh, for fuck's sake, you're dealing with it as well. Like, great. And then also, obviously, obviously at work, you just sort of don't want to be a burden, and you don't want people to be like treading eggshells around you. So I've always sort of put on a front in front of other people to make it look like I was fine. And then soon as 5 o'clock hit, I wanted to get home and just be on my own and just hide away, just close out the rest of the world, not look at my phone, just watch telly, play games. And even then, like, through them times, I even tried to do like streaming, like online streaming for games. Even that I couldn't do, because it was just like the social interaction. I was just like, no, I actually can't do it. Like, some of it was okay, like having that sort of gaming community and all that stuff. But even that's toxic as anything. So I was like, no, it's not for me. And yeah, just a lot of the time, I just didn't want to talk to anyone. I just wanted to stay at home, just be my own little bubble, I suppose, rather than going outside and doing the dinners and going to here or there. And I think also a big part of that is because where at that time it was my ex that just moved out. I It was sort of like getting the comfort of being on my own again. I think I was here for, say, 2 years. He moved in for about a year, and then obviously broke up, da da da. He moved out. And I think I gripped onto the being alone again very quickly, of like comfort. Because sometimes, obviously, when you're with work and you're doing a lot of social interactions with people, you get home, and if you are with a partner, sometimes you do just want to come down and just sit for 5 minutes and 10 minutes without having to speak to anyone, just to sit, just to maybe have like a little nap,
Deep
just to
breathe, vent, let it
just
go,
chill.
change
Yeah.
sceneries. Yeah.
Literally, just let me just chill for 5 minutes, but you can't, because then you got to go. Oh, so what did you say? Oh, yeah, and then you're gonna have that mundane, shitty conversation with, like, "Oh, what did you do today? Yeah, it was a great day. What do you want for dinner? Oh, I guess I love this." And it's just like, oh, it bores me. I hate it. So I had to deal with that for like a whole year, and then it was just so nice to just come home and just sit, just doom scroll on my phone for like 10 minutes and go, I wonder what I could have for dinner, and then actually think about it, and then I make something just because you can, rather than going, right, I've got to think about cooking for 2 people.
Many people who have come out of the wrong relationships will relate
Yes,
to that
yes.
because you're reclaiming, aren't you? You're reclaiming
Yeah,
yourself, you're
exactly. You
reclaiming your time.
Yes, like, especially as well because obviously it's like, this is, like, mine, and I'm reclaiming what is mine back to me rather than having to share it.
Yeah.
This is my house, this is my flat, this is my sofa, this is my time. No, just go away.
What have you learned now that
Mhm,
you've just about, you are turning that corner, the
mhm,
eyes are opening, the
mhm,
energy's
mhm.
increasing? What can you see with a clearer hindsight?
From my personal experience, people don't care as much as you think they do. It's like people don't think about you 24/7. If they do, it's a bit weird. Um, but it's just more of a like, they just relax. Like, people aren't thinking about you in that type of way. People have their own life to live. People have their own things to deal with. People have their own jobs, their own issues, their own family. They're not gonna care about one tiny little interaction they might have had with you, as I said, at Tesco's, that they don't care. Once they're out the door, you're nothing, nothing to them. So why does that stick with us? Why do we always feel like, are they gonna think about that I haven't got makeup on and I'm in my, like, I don't know, pajamas, for example. Not that I would ever go to Tesco in my pajamas, but
But
anyway,
people do, and and
but
and
people
all I
do.
think when I see people in pajamas walking through, they might have had a whole story behind that.
Yeah,
They might be running out for baby milk. They might have been hungover for the whole
yeah,
day. They might just not care. They might have been going through X, Y, and Z. And all
yeah,
I think is, oh, it's a pair of pajamas, and I
yeah,
literally right, where are the
literally,
bananas? Yeah,
yeah. You just can go, oh, okay, and then you crack on with your life because it's
yeah.
okay. It's so inconvenient that it's nothing to worry about.
I say I've got two daughters,
Mhm,
21 and 19, and
mhm.
for about the last 5, 7, 8 years, I've really tried to reiterate that no one's watching, no one's listening, no one
Yeah,
cares.
no,
And I say that from a loving father point of view, not that
yes,
no one cares.
yeah,
I
yeah, of
say that
course.
it's you could be wrapped up in everything that you do.
Mhm,
You could miss opportunities that come your way,
yeah,
job offers, things that scare you.
mhm.
And actually, if you do it and get it wrong, no one's seen. Everyone's got their
No,
head in their phones nowadays, or head
yeah.
in the news, or in their own
Got
problems.
headphones on and they're not paying attention to something that's happening over there somewhere. Like, they're focusing on whatever the new trend is, or what's happening on the, as you said, on the news, or chatting to their friend. Who's going to stop me from doing what I want to do?
I
Nobody.
don't know
If I
quite how
wanted
to
to
word,
go to Japan tomorrow, I could. I could go like, yeah, Sodja, I'm going to go book a flight to Japan. See you later.
and the only people that would say, "Oh, she's going to Japan," would be the people that you hold a mirror up to,
Mm,
because they would do anything to be able to go or to do it, but they don't do it. And
no.
yet, you would be by not going to Japan, you would be stopping yourself from going
Hmm.
to appease someone that hasn't got your best interests at heart
No.
anyway. It's
Exactly. Yeah.
bizarre when we think about it. When we break it down, isn't it
Mm,
bizarre?
it's very bizarre. It's very strange.
It is, and sometimes by reducing our expectations as well. Like,
Mm,
I want to get fit. I really want to get fit. It's easy to get fit. Just go to the gym every day. Do I go to the gym every day? No. Why not? Why can't I even do that? I mean, it's so
mm,
easy. Well, when I don't go, or when I do eat the wrong thing, I try desperately to call myself mate. Don't worry, mate. We'll have a
mm,
pizza tonight. Don't worry, buddy. We'll
mm,
do it tomorrow. And I think, come on, talk to
mm,
yourself like you would. And
mm.
then some other times I can realize that for the last 20 minutes, I've been beating myself up in the head. Like, it doesn't register until I catch
Yeah.
it.
Because it's like funny you should say that about going to the gym. We're doing this thing at work, and my manager went, "Oh, do you want to do a resistance class?" I was like, I'm happy to trial it. She goes, "Oh, at 6." I said, "Yeah, I'll go." She went, "Oh, so is tomorrow morning okay?" I went, "Morning?" She was like, "Yeah, 6 a.m." I went, "No." I said,
Absolutely not.
6
That'll be
p.m.
a
I'll
negative.
go. Yeah. And I was like,
Huh?
6 a.m. Absolutely not. 6 p.m. I'll go. And she said, "Oh, because if it's 6 a.m., like I'll make myself get up. At 6 p.m., I'll make an excuse and I'll just want to go home." I was like, "No, I'm the complete opposite." So it's different from like different perspectives of how people won't do something
Yeah.
when it's like the complete opposite, but it's the same outcome.
You get to a certain age, don't you, where you just go, no. No is a
Yeah,
sentence.
and I did it.
No
Yeah.
is a sentence. No.
That's
I mean,
another thing as well that as you say, as you get older, you can just say no, and you don't have to feel bad about it.
you don't even need to explain. Are you coming out Friday? No.
No, no.
Why
Why? I
not?
just
I'm
don't
just
wanna.
not.
Yeah, I'm
Just
just
don't want
not.
to.
I don't need to explain myself to you. I'm just not.
Yeah. Talk about the people, the relationships, whether that be personal, family that have come into your life, the
Mhm,
lessons that you've been taught, and maybe
mhm,
some of the hard wiring that you were
mhm,
led to believe, and some of
mhm.
the disappointments along the way.
Mm.
Um,
I'd say definitely with probably ex friendships, ex partners. They put on a show for the first couple of months, and then once you're in, you show who you truly are, and then that's where everything breaks down. Mine was it was going so great even after like the whole year. It was like the best relationship I've ever had type thing. Um and I was like, right, this is the one now. Like this is it. Like I'm 20. How old I would have been? I would have been 20, 27, 26 or 7, about that age. And I was like, right, this is it now. And I was like, I found the person. Like I can sort of think about the future and da 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 da. Da. And then it wasn't until the ex boyfriend moved in until I think maybe that's when the colours started to show. Like mine was a bit different to standard relationships, like where they show themselves a very early on in the relationship. Mine was showing yourself very later in the relationship. Of I don't know whether because from his background and then it sort of rubbing off to the relationship that we had of his trauma now becoming my trauma because he's caused the issue of well, this is what it was like with my last relationship. I'm like, okay,
right.
this not us though. It was very much like rather than having a boyfriend, I felt like I was dating a roommate that occasionally wanted to get his leg over. And it was sort of like I was doing everything, and we had that argument multiple times, and he was like, "Oh, I'll do better, I'll do this." Never did. But on the off occasion that he did do something, he'd tell me and then wanted praise for it. I'm like, "No, you're a grown adult." Mm. So that was sort of my like especially as well because this was like my first time living with a boyfriend as well. So obviously it was still very fresh to me as well, but I sort of still had like an understanding of what was right and wrong. Let I still sort of let the wrong things happen until long enough I just kind of went, no, like I've dealt with this for however how long now, and I was like, it's not right, and I'm sick of you taking advantage of me, and it's still expecting this, that, and the other. And it was sort
It's
of like it was just so like as I said, it was disappointing to be like, how can this I don't know sort of amazing relationship that we had at the start now become what it is? Like, have you got too comfortable? And I
you are
think,
strong because you could have accepted it and you could have still been
mm,
in that position now.
oh yeah, yeah,
And you had to make that decision. And
mhm,
sometimes the fear, I think the fear of staying the same, when that
mhm,
gets worse than the fear of change,
mhm.
it's an easy decision, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Because you
this is
let
the
things
thing.
slide.
Yeah, I'm. I mean, people at work will tell you I hate change. I absolutely hate it. If there is change, I need to be gradually coerced into said change, and then I can get
Yes,
on board.
yeah, yes, yeah.
Because, yeah, as you said, it's the fear of the sudden, like, oh,
It's not just the physical things, it's also the disappointment in the relationship, almost grieving what you could have had, the fact you've got to
yes.
let go, the fact you've made in our world at the time and, down, you think, I've made another bad decision. Well, I can't be
Yeah.
trusted with real life. I'm not a proper
Yeah.
adult, and all of these narratives. So it's not
Mm,
just dirty dishes and everything else, is it? It's a case of here we go again. It's like a deep
yeah.
breath, get out,
Yeah.
reset, move on. It
Yeah.
takes energy, and sometimes we don't
Yeah.
have that energy.
Yeah. Like, people hate going, oh, I'm going to have to ask all the questions again. And
Mm.
it's just, it's annoying. And it is very, like, it takes it out of you because nobody really wants to start from the beginning again. It's like reading a book, for example. You get halfway and then you have to start again. Who does that? Nobody. You want to
No.
get to the end. You want to finish the book to then maybe read the sequel or the prequel.
And also, don't you think there's a
Um,
comfort in someone else knowing the real you as well? That you don't have to
yes.
then put the whole veneer on again and go into it because it's like,
Mm,
oh, can't be bothered.
yeah, definitely. And there's always still a part of you that won't show 100% of yourself
Scary.
because you're scared
Scary to show
of,
100%.
yeah, 100%. It's so scary to show 100% of who you are. Like, especially as well, like, I think it's always a good thing as well to have so many amount of type of friends. Like, I've got a friend specifically for reading. I've got a friend specifically for music. I've got a friend specifically for gaming. I've got a friend specifically for types of like food or like restaurants, like with big foodies. So we think, oh, we see this restaurant, we'll go and eat it. I've got friends
Love
specifically
that.
for like Disney because we're all Disney adults and we love a bit of, quizzes and karaoke and all that jazz. Um, and I quite like that I have that to separate my different interests in them people. So I don't always have to sort of show every part of me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because when are you ever going to find someone who likes Disney, likes the food you like, likes
Yeah.
the bands you like, likes
mm,
everything to a T? And if you do, you'd
mm,
be so scared of losing them because they just fit like
yeah.
a glove. So
yeah.
it's like when, drinkers will call non-drinkers boring.
Oh, I
Um,
can't stand
well,
that.
yeah, well, it's only because you're not in their world. And the non-drinker might be fit as a fiddle going out, thinking about their health and everything else, but suddenly they're labeled
Mm,
X, Y, and Z. And
mm.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
it,
100%. I mean, I haven't had an alcoholic beverage probably since my mum's wedding, which was last year, December. But that was a glass of wine. I want to say it was probably when I moved in to here 5 years ago. It was a Halloween
mhm.
party. But that was just because I was like, oh my God, I'm free. I'm on my own. I'm an adult. But I've always never kind of been a big drinker because I just don't like the feeling of it. I don't like the feeling of being drunk. But that's because I don't like relying on people and I don't want to be a burden to everyone else for being a drunkard. It's not for me. I'd
And
rather be the sober one.
have you had other reasons for that? Has there been, are there any influences in and around friendship or family groups that perhaps have led you to thinking alcohol isn't what it's cracked up to be?
Yes, I have got, I'm quite happy to say it now. My dad, he's a heavy drinker. Like, I think also that and also being brought up in the pub environment.
Hmm.
From a very young age, which is, I think, just the standard 90s child experience. It's apparently just a thing that we all just sort of spent our lives growing up in a pub, apparently. Get
Beer
told to sit in the
gardens,
corner.
pubs, yeah.
Yeah, here's your J to shut up. I love people watching as well. So in sort of that environment, I'm always sort of like looking around going, oh, what's happening? Um, and it just didn't agree with me. Like, I just didn't enjoy it. I feel like it ruined a lot of people's friendships, and I could tell you the amount of punch ups that have happened in when I used to work at the pub because of this, that, and the other. And then the next day they're like best buddies again. I always used to like wind people up and say, like, just to let you know, if alcohol was discovered now, it'd be a class A drug and it'd be
Mm,
illegal.
mm.
Because it would be because of what it does to you. That's why half of the other drugs are banned because look what happens. It always makes me laugh when you tell it to people that, they are the frequent drinker. Um, and they're like, "Oh, but," like, sort of like in denial.
You said earlier that sometimes you've just got to let people be them. You can care too
Yeah,
much. You can try and control to the point
yeah,
that, and then there is a realization that they're not thinking about you all the time when they're
no,
drinking. They're not
no.
drinking because of you. That if you could think you've
It's
made a
just
difference when
routine.
you're there, but then as soon as
Mm,
you leave, the bottle can appear again. So I don't like this phrase, but I'll use it. You can care too much sometimes.
mhm. Oh, yeah, 100%. But it gets to a point where it's like, as I say, for years, like, we've been trying to tell my father to, like, chill out and, think about your health and all that sort of stuff, and he goes, "Oh, he's never blamed the beer once. No matter how many times he's been in hospital for something, no matter how many times something's happened, or like when we discovered that he had diabetes was because he was in the pub and he drank so much that his blood sugars went nuts, and he was having, I think it's like I don't know what it's called. It's like it's just basically your whole body's just like sort of doing this
Yeah.
because of the amount of sugar you have in your body, that your heart's just going, "Oh my god, I can't take it." So, and it was really scary as well because I had someone call me and they were like, "Oh, your dad's having a heart attack." I was like, "What?" So then I'm panicking because I'm only like a 16, 17-year-old girl going, "Oh my god, my dad's about to die." Because I've just been told he's having a heart attack.
Mm.
Took him to the hospital and he's like, "Oh no, he's just having whatever it was. I can't remember. Over 10 years ago now." But that's how we then discovered that he had diabetes. Put on, obviously, all on the tablets that people take for this, that, and the other. Um, and a lot of it is for like cholesterol. And then I was like, "Oh, maybe you should, think about your health and stop drinking so much." No, hasn't changed in the slightest. His routines are still the same. Um, Now he's lost a toe. He's having an operation to sort out his other feet because where he doesn't have the big toe, it's now doing this. Da 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 da. And even in my head, when he was like, "Oh, I've got to have it removed," because it was sort of like he had a blister, it burst, got sepsis, had it removed. That's basically what it was, and because of the diabetes, it made it 10 times worse.
Mhm.
And even in that moment, I was like, "Oh, this is it. This is the stepping stone of him finally going, oh, maybe I should chill out on the drink a bit." Like, and I just sort of thought, well, if losing a bloody toe ain't gonna do anything, then what the hell am I supposed to do? Because we've tried for years to try and help him, but he's just sort of, there's nothing I can do now. Like, there's physically nothing that I can think of that's nice enough to be like, right, you need to chill. Like, I generally think the only thing I could do was probably be like, "Listen, I'm not coming to see you unless you pack it in." But
You
even then,
want
I
them
still don't
back
think it
though,
would.
don't you? You
Oh
want them
yeah,
back as
100%.
people.
Yeah, that's what I
It's
mean. It's sort of, he's a completely different person when he's had a drink. I don't like him when he's drunk.
Do you go
I
out
like
together when there's
No.
drink involved? No.
I went down there 2 weeks ago now,
Mhm.
um, and it was the first day he stayed sober the whole day because he picked me up from the station. Obviously went back to the house. Caught up a little bit, and I thought, "Oh, I've been here an hour now. He'll surely crack open a tinny." But funnily enough, it was my granddad that went, "Right, I'm going to go to the pub now. I'll be back in about 2 hours." And I was like, Has something happened in this household?"
Mm.
Because I'm very confused. And he was back 2 hours later. We had dinner, and then all of a sudden it was 6 o'clock, and it was time for me to go home. And then in that time, like, it didn't really clock to me that he hadn't had a drink.
Was that a conscious effort because of you? And I
It's
think,
because 'cause I'm something that I'm just used to. Like, obviously, by then I'm like, "Oh, he's probably had 2 cans," and I sort of shut it out of my brain, and I just watch TV or, whatever we're doing, like, we'll talk about it. Um, because even I said, like, "Oh, I'll just get a taxi then." He's like, "Oh, no, I'll drop you." I was like, "You can't." He went, "Yeah, I can." I went, "No, you can't." I was like, "You've had a beer." And he went, "I haven't had a beer." "Oh, oh, okay." And that's the first time in 15 years? I want to say that's the first time I think I spent with
That would
him
have
that he's
included
fully
holidays
sober.
as well, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Where it's kind of, there are more reasons to not feel bad about having a
Yes.
Corona at 10
Mm.
o'clock in the morning.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
Mm.
exactly. I remember when I was a kid and like our holiday was going to like Alton Towers. So we'd go camping, we'd go to Alton Towers, and sometimes he'd bring a friend up.
Mhm.
I think it was sort of more of a to make it more enjoyable for me as well. And so then obviously he's got a friend to talk to while I'm off gallivanting. But even then, like I remember like we'd go back to the campsite and he'd have a beer, all that sort of stuff. But I think I noticed it a hell of a lot more the older I got of how frequent it was. It was only then till I remember like obviously being in the hospital. I think I was 16, 17, and the doctors were asking him questions like, oh, because it was before he was diagnosed with obviously having diabetes,
Mhm.
and he was asking him questions like, oh, do you drink? And my dad's obviously 16 in my head. I'm like, oh, I'm an adult, like whatever. But he literally did that. He went, yeah, I'm a heavy drinker. I know, I'm not stupid. Like, he was embarrassed to admit
I think it's
in front of his
acknowledgement.
daughter. Yeah,
I think it's the
it's like if
realization.
I don't know, then it's okay.
You can
Mm,
make all these excuses, but I think when someone's around them all the time and sees all of
yeah.
it, you just know that there's
Mm,
unfortunately an underlying issue around addiction.
yeah.
And yeah,
Oh, 100%. Because I remember him having the conversation a couple of years ago. And I wanted to say something, but I was like, no, he's in front of his friends. Like, I'm not going to embarrass him or anyone like that. It was something like, I don't need to drink. I want to drink. Nah, that's bullshit there and there. There's a difference. Like, it's like, no, you need to drink. The way that I see you and your lifestyle and everything like that. It's the same with smoking. You know, you wake up, you have a fag, or especially when I used to smoke anyway. When you got home or when you left for work, you have a cigarette. Oh, I've just got in the car, I'll roll a cigarette and then I'll go. It's that type of mentality of, I've just finished work, I'll have a beer. Oh, it's Friday, I'll have a beer. Oh, I've had a crap day today, I'll have a beer.
you are
Well,
so right that it would be
mm,
banned now. It wouldn't be
it would
introduced now.
be. 100%. It would definitely be classed as a class A drug. 100%. I'm always going to
Hmm.
care about him.
Yeah,
Love him to
yeah,
pieces. But it's sort of like I'm fed up of slowly letting him sort of end his life early because of the habits that he's got. And it's like, you know, people will joke about and go, oh, I don't want to be old and wrinkly. And I'm happy to die at such and such. I'm like, yeah, that's all and well, but think about the people around you.
yeah, too right.
It's a
And
very
also, you don't
selfish
think
sort
of,
of thing in my opinion anyway, it's very selfish to think that way.
yeah,
You've got loved ones around you, you've got family, you've got obviously sons, daughters, whatever. Obviously with me, I'm his only daughter. So why would you want me to experience that for you to die at a young age? And you see it all the time with people, even when parents die at 40, 50, on how traumatizing and upsetting it can be. Like rather than being like an old wrinkly man and dying from natural
hmm,
causes,
yeah,
it's a lot easier to accept if you're old and wrinkly than you are if you're young and okay.
yeah.
Is
No,
sort
I
of how
completely get you.
yeah.
You are, yeah, and you, with addiction especially, you can't understand why you're not that first priority. So
Mhm.
when you were effectively hiding, when
Mhm.
going through all this, what gave you the power to speak out? Was it a gradual process? What would you say to someone else who's going back,
Mm,
closing the door in a relationship they don't want to be in a toxic relationship, maybe within a family or friends or something else,
mhm.
taking it all personally on themselves?
Mhm. I would definitely say like it does take time. Time is the greatest healer, and it's one thing I'll always quite happily tell people. Time is the greatest healer. Um, Not everything can happen overnight, but I think it's more of a you have to want to be happy. You have to want to get back to how you want your life to be. You have to want to and go and grab it and just just do it. Like just get up and do it. If I can get there, then anybody else can, is how I see it.
Oh,
Because
you
I
know, and
thought
then
I was right at the bottom of the pit and I thought there was no hope to it all. And I thought, no, this is it. My life's just finished. I didn't want to be on this earth anymore, and I thought nobody would care if I went missing, all that type of thought process. But it was sort of a slowly like, no, I don't want to feel like this anymore. But as someone that, in all honesty, only had medication to help rather than speaking to people or getting therapy or anything like that, um, it is possible. It is definitely possible. You just have to be strong, grab life by the balls, and just go for
You give
it.
yourself a break sometimes as well, because sometimes you'll be strong
Exactly.
and sometimes you won't, and both are okay. Um,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
so just going back to your experience at the lowest, what did it feel like? You were seeing life through really murky glasses, so you can't see
Mhm.
horizons, can you? What did it feel like, and how did you slowly clean those glasses?
So I will say I just had no energy, like, for anything. It was very much like I was wearing a mask every day. Um, I I definitely felt like I was just kind of existing rather than living a life. Even just putting up my work clothes, it was like, right, I'm pretending to be assistant manager Alicia now. I'm not being what how I feel or currently what I'm thinking or anything like that. It can be very draining because, once you get to the places where you are pretending to be someone else, you're basically just lying to yourself and to everybody else. And it's a constant lie that at some point I do wish I was telling the truth. And I just felt like I was a big liar and I was just being someone that I definitely wasn't. And I was just basically wearing a mask all day. I just put on like a suit of happy Alicia and then off I went. When I got home, I could take it all off and I could just be my depressed, stinky little self. I just rot in my home in peace and just sort of like I enjoyed being able to just be that rather than
Yeah,
having to put on a front in front of people, which is a very strange feeling to like enjoy being sad on my own.
it's not strange. I completely get it. And the hairs went up on my arm when you said about you were just lying all the time. Because now what I'm
Uh-huh.
hearing is that when you keep your own promises to yourself, when you
Uh-huh.
trust yourself to do the right,
Uh-huh.
when you have people around you that you can be yourself, and
Uh,
suddenly you get back and you think, I'm all right. Well, I'm
yeah.
all right because I'm in different environments now.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I think you've hit the nail on the head. The moment that makes you
Mm.
hide is because we're lying to ourselves.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you get that sharp awakening and you realize also, by the
Mm.
way, you have permission. A lot of people go through life waiting for permission to be happy,
No, definitely not.
but you were lying all the time to
Yeah.
yourself.
Mm. Yeah. This every day I was just like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And in the back of my mind, like I knew I wasn't. Like I definitely knew there was something wrong, but I was like, "No, I'm fine. I'm okay." I'd come home and have a meltdown. I wasn't eating correct like great
Mm,
or. But then
probably
I'd go
felt
to
like
work
you
and
don't
go, "Yeah, I'm
deserve
okay."
to as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like, especially as well at the time, because obviously it was an amount of things that I was going through with the whole thing with my ex,
Hmm.
sort of realization with family problems, a couple of work things as well of like not feeling good enough or like I wasn't doing the greatest at my job, and
Hmm.
I just didn't feel like I was good enough. That was always one thing, even from since I was young. I never felt good enough for anything, whether it was because I don't know, if I did something, I didn't get a like, "Oh, well done," or like, a pat on the back. It was just sort of, "Okay." So I kinda went, "Oh, is
Hmm.
hmm, I've obviously not done a good enough job here to get the kind of reaction I wanted." It was definitely lying every day to myself, especially when you meet new people, if, people are having a conversation and they're like, "Oh, I don't agree with lying." I definitely don't lie every day telling everybody that I'm okay.
Mm.
You're lying to yourself and it's not good to do that. I feel like you need to be truthful to yourself and to others around you. And that sort of is a way to sort of get on the path back to being happy again. Just to be truthful to yourself. And that it's okay to have a shit day. It's okay to feel the way however you feel because there's always a way out. There's always a light to, grab onto and just escape and get to where you need to go.
You know, I don't think you could have summed it up any better. And honestly, it's enlightening because you're where you're meant to be, and if you feel
Mhm.
down, feel down.
Yeah, yeah. There's one thing I always say is it's good to cry, to
Mhm.
get the emotions out, to get the funny little things for what scientists call out of your brain, like, because you get it out. And then I've always, in my experience anyway, after I've cried, I feel so much better.
This is a constant work in progress, isn't it? When you do start to get out and pick that energy up again, my
Mm,
God, do you get protective about who you let in? You don't want to go back, do you?
no,
And
no.
rightly
I
so.
think especially as well in that I feel like if you do go through things and you do come out to the other side, I do feel like you have a gut instinct of,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah.
associate myself with this person, or, oh, I do want to associate myself with this person. And I've always been very weirdly good at that anyway. So after that, I was like, I just have this feeling that you're not good for my
Yeah.
soul and I
You're not
need to
going to
keep you
serve me.
away. I was always the one that walked at the back. Like I was never sort of in the middle of the friend group. I was a side friend. I didn't feel like I had a best friend. I was just in a group of friends and that was like I was just there. And I was always sort of like last resort.
Mm.
But obviously, this is like teenage sort of thinking. Now I'm just like, I don't care. Like, I'll just go. But I never felt included in a lot of things unless I pushed my way in, which and a lot of times you don't want to do because you don't want to feel like you're going somewhere that you're not invited to or like you're not
You
sort
might
of
not even want to
being
go to it, but you want to be
exactly.
part, you want to be, yeah, thought of.
Yeah, yeah, of course, exactly. That's always one thing as well. I think like you always want to be thought of about something, and that's one thing I've learned as well to sort of deal with in a more positive way. Of maybe they thought, oh, it's not for her. So we just won't bother because there are a lot of things where people will invite me and I go, no, I'm okay, thank you. Like, why would you think I would want to go to that? Yeah. So there's obviously two sides of that type of
Yeah.
like inclusion and being asked, and so I've got two different things now. Like a lot of the time, as you do when you're younger, you do sort of go, oh my God, and you sort of judge people and go like, oh my God, why are you doing that? And why are you being like this? Whereas now with the superpower,
Yeah.
you just kind of go, well, then maybe they've had a really crap day. Maybe someone, something could have happened to them
Maybe
yesterday.
it's nothing to
Maybe,
do with you.
yeah, and maybe they're
Let's
just,
give that
that's
one an
just,
option.
yeah, it's got nothing to do with you. That's just how they are. And it's just,
Yeah.
that's just what they're like. And you just, that's it. And you just have to go, okay.
Yeah.
And I think, and people would be a lot better or not nicer if that's how they thought of things.
Mhm.
Like, you don't know what's happening in people's lives.
No.
You don't know why they're angry. You don't know why they're upset. You don't know why they're ecstatic this morning and everything's like the best thing on this earth. And you're kind of like, oh my God, like, calm down. They're like, no, I'm so happy. Like, you need to just kind of go, oh, okay, like, good for you.
How do you reach out to someone who is down? Can you? Is it even possible?
I think it can. I think it sort of depends, if you're wanting it or if you do have people. I mean, there are so many, like what I've discovered anyway, there are so many groups, communities, whether it be online in your area, um, that do obviously help with and support people. Mine was um, the help with things on socials. I've got a very 50-50 thing with social media. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing. But the good thing for me was it was seeing that people are going through stuff. And it was kind of like a relief of, oh, I'm not alone.
Yes.
And then
Not everything's
you
perfect.
exactly. And it was sort of like it can be sort of like a good motivation to be like, oh, well, if they can, then maybe I can
Yeah.
too. And it sort of nudges you a bit, I think, to, as I say, wanting to get the help, and however you choose to get the help is obviously completely down to you. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. I don't think people should be pressured into, if people say, oh, you should go and get therapy. If you don't find therapy comfortable, then don't do it. Like there's many other ways you can get help. There's many other people and that you can contact, and you can find a community for yourself. There's so many things that you can
When you've
reach
got the
out.
energy to do that, when you've got the
Yeah,
realization that
exactly.
you do want to better yourself.
Yeah, of course. And
And
I
you've
mean,
just
it's
sort of come off the
definitely,
bottom in that.
yeah, I mean, especially if, for example, if you didn't have anyone that reaches out to you and you're like, no, I want to get better. You do have to have the want to do it. Obviously, it took me a while. It does take people a
Mm.
while. Like, I
I'd
don't
say
think people
don't
should
rush it
expect,
in a
no,
way.
yeah, do
You
it
can't
in
force
your
it.
own space. No, of course.
Mm,
Like, especially as well, like obviously being a procrastinator at the finest is, it took me a while. So it took
mm,
me nearly 6 months to sort of like go like, no, I need to do something
yeah.
about this. And but in between that 6 months, at least once a week, I was like, oh, I should do something. I never did,
Mm,
but I knew that I had to do something. But it was just when I felt ready and when I felt like, oh, I've got sort of time now, or I've got space in my brain to go through this sort of journey of getting better. Because sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming, I feel,
mm,
as well.
mm.
Going from this sort of little ball of safeness and comfortable
Comfort.
comfort, like just being in your own little ball and world, in your own home, doing whatever you're doing, doing what you like on your own, whether it is obviously you still being upset or depressed, anxiety, and all of a sudden having people talk to you and talking about things that you like, and sort of now you're sort of in like a routine with this person that wants to talk to you about said interest, or and you're sort of like,
You
oh
have importance and value and
yeah,
yeah.
especially as well, even going from with the whole K-pop thing. I've made so many friends from getting this interest and finding even old relationships that I've had in the past and now rekindling them because, oh, I didn't know you like this band. And she
Mm.
was like, yeah, well, nobody knows. But because, again, she was a bit embarrassed because for whatever reason, I don't know, like, oh, you like K pop, that type of
Yeah, to
thing. It's
find
just
your
sort
own
of,
tribe and other people who like it, you
yeah,
feel normal. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So even now I'll go, "Oh, I like this." And they go, "Oh, really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I like it." You got something to say? Mm. I'm proud to say that I like this band or I like this genre of music, and nothing you're gonna say is gonna change my mind otherwise.
Be proud. To worry what
Exactly.
somebody else thinks is almost to be subservient to their thoughts and their needs. Well, I'm not
Mm,
subservient to
yeah.
anyone. And so whether you like what I'm wearing or what I'm doing or anything
Mm,
else, it's of no
yeah.
relevance. But
No.
if it's negative, you said
Mm,
um, you just wanted to see something and you were on social media and you said, if she can do it, I can do it. I
mhm,
honestly think that people will see that about you watching this as well. I
mm.
genuinely can't thank you enough
That's
for
okay.
sharing. It's wonderful, even on this hour, seeing your
I
energy
know.
rise. You've come up with some absolute pearlers to help people when they're down about not rushing it. Just be kind to yourself.
Mhm.
Don't fear change,
No.
fear staying where you are.
Mm,
And honestly, if someone is watching this and so you think someone is down, they might not reach out. They just want to know that they are not strange in some way
mhm,
or the only one to be going through this. Alicia's
mm,
gone through it. Alicia is still going through it. We all go through it continuously. It's
mhm,
like a maintenance thing every day, isn't it? We've got to keep
yeah,
our own
yeah.
promises to ourselves. But yeah, I just want to wholeheartedly thank you for sharing
Absolutely,
your
I'm more than
journey.
happy. Yes, it's been great. It's sort of like another, even for now, it's like a little relief to say that this is where I am now, and this is the
Yeah.
things that I've gone through, and it's like sort of like I'm proud to say I am where I am now, and this is what I've done to get here. Because 2 years ago, me would have been, really, this is where you are now. Could never have thought.
Someone said to me once, "Do you want to, if you could go back to when I was down and out, really, out for the count, um, do you want to leave them in your past or do you want to bring them with you?" And I said, "I want to go back and give him a cuddle."
Yeah, yeah.
And I want to genuinely bring him with me because without that
They,
person, I
yeah,
wouldn't be this
you wouldn't
person. You're
be.
one of the same.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. Like if I didn't go through or experience the things I went through, I wouldn't be who I am now.
Yeah.
100% not. Like they've made you a part of who you are, and that should be you should be proud and thankful that you've got to where you are now. And like this, obviously upsetting or reasons that you've had to go through this part of this stage in your life, but look at where you are now, and you could think better, and now you can help other people that go through things, and it's an ongoing cycle. Like,
Yeah.
this could help people understand, like, it can get better. They'll get better and go, oh, by the way, I watched this thing, and I think you should do this, and then it'll just go on and on and on and on and on, and then
Yeah. Those times
people
may
will
feel like
just.
they're breaking you, but actually at your lowest, they're
Mhm.
making you. And all it is life saying that course isn't working. We're going to go off on a new course in a period of change.
Mhm.
Grit your teeth, get through it the best you can, and
Yes.
reach out where you can. But honestly, Eleisha, thank you. We've got to wrap
It's
this
okay.
up.
No, so yeah, we could talk for hours.
We could. All power to you, and we'll touch base again soon, I'm sure. But
Indeed.
from the whole
Yes.
InSpirrall community, from InSpirrall to
Yes.
inspiring all,
Yes.
I can't thank you enough. Thank you.
It's okay. Thank you for having me.